What's up, I'm Aidan. You are watching what is still known as my barn conversion vlog, even though I'm not sure it really should be anymore. But to me, it's still a barn conversion. If you haven't watched the last episode, the situation is there is no barn. This is what's happened so far. So I'm just gonna show you what's happened, talk you through a little bit. This is in as well. This is my water treatment plant. It's a Graph 1-2 clean. It's capable up to 7 people. There's an inspection chamber manhole before it goes in, comes out. There's another inspection chamber, and then there's a pipe that goes down there and then goes into my neighbour's ditch. There's also a separate pipe for stormwater, and then that's going to collect it off of there, which is going to come off this rope and these drains that are going to go around here. Ages ago I said that's the kind of thing that people normally put in first. Obviously it's going in now because I've just got my main contractor on the go, and this is one of the first things that we've done. Now we can put a proper toilet just here, and it's like, instead of going in a bucket like I've been doing. When we actually bought the property, we arranged with our neighbours as part of the contract to get permission to put in the drainage across into their ditch as well. So that's things that you need to think about in terms of that. Otherwise you need a drainage field, which is a bit more faffing than just obviously doing a ditch. It's all backfilled with pea shingle as well. This has all been marked out as if to recreate exactly what was here before, basically. And then everything's been reduced. So this corner had to be 2 meters in terms of trench fill because of that oak there. So we've reduced it down by quite a lot. The foundations, the actual concrete pour is about 1.2 meters, and then obviously the rest, these are trench blocks. That's been making it up. The bricklayers have obviously started putting them in, and they're leaving little gaps for pipe work. There's one there, and then just over here there's a gap for where the steel work is going to go. I've sent off the information for the steel work, and then apparently that's going to be fabricated just after Christmas and put in. Welcome to Maths with Aidan. You just see me, I put a bit of wood on so I could get the angle of the roof, because I need to mark out for the steels and like do a diagram for the steel fabricator. Now I didn't have a proper protractor. What I did have is this, which is 45. And then good old trusty DeWalt. So I put that on there, plus 6.5 degrees. So 45 plus, and then I put the board on here, makes 51.5 degrees plus a 90, brings me to this angle here. If that's 141.5, that means this angle here is 70.5. That's a 90 degrees, that means it's a degree of 19.25, which is a bit of a weird number, but if I go either way it doesn't really work. So I reckon they're the angles that I'm going to go for. So I need to measure everything out now and do my little drawing. It's 20 past 12 at night. For the past 4 hours I've been figuring out the steels, and I've been drinking whiskey, that probably doesn't really help. I'll quickly show you. I'm going to send this over to the steel fabricator. Hopefully it's good enough for him to like figure stuff out, basically. So I've been like looking at this, looking at that. This is what I've got. So that's my central frame, that's my gable frame, and then that's my ridge. I can't even bloody think anymore. So it's really hard because I'm trying to match the existing stills and the trusses and everything like that. So everything needs to go back together as it was meant to be. Yeah, we'll see how things turn out. Hopefully it'll be all good. Cheers. Now I believe that the bricklayers, they didn't account for where it was going to go out front, so I'm just going to spray that on now.
Perfect.
They've fucked that up, haven't they? Because the steel's meant to go there. They've come too far in. They obviously didn't check it, and they didn't bother to ask as well. The drawings aren't exactly 100% accurate. Now, if you took the time to actually understand them properly and work it out, you would get it right. But obviously, the main contractor just wants to go off for leather, so that's when mistakes get made. What's better, just taking a little bit of time to understand it, or ask even, or just going and doing it twice. Hopefully this one's in the right place. I haven't checked that. I'm just going to leave it up to them, but obviously I thought I'd help them out on this and just say, right, this is, I already said the other day, that's probably not right. It still needs to go in there. Steel's going in today. Hopefully I've done it all right and them measurements were bang on.
Perfect.
Progress report, block and beam floor just went down in a day. That was a bit of a hard slog. Yeah, I only helped a little bit, I was doing other stuff, but they had enough by the end of the day. It's quite funny. So all this gets designed by the block and beam floor company, and originally what they wanted to do, because this is a bigger spans, because obviously the beams are going that way on that one, they wanted to do 225 thickness on this side, which would have thrown off the levels and everything, and so Sean said he didn't want that, and they needed to do it in 150. So these beams over here are a little bit thicker. Bedrooms at the end, there's a bathroom here outside, that's the stairs going up, another bedroom and another bedroom. That's the glaze gable, and here is where the kitchen's meant to be. Now I've been looking at little kitchen bits and like had a little play on a little design program. It looks like I regret it a little bit not pushing this wall a bit back further that way, because the stairs are interfering with the kitchen layout, And the islands, we can only have a little island now, whereas I wanted a big one. I didn't really think about it before, I should have done. If you're ever doing this kind of thing, just make sure that you're happy with the kitchen before you start, because obviously you need more room. This was meant to be a TV snug area, and it's ended up being like a cinema room. It didn't need to be this big, so that's the reason why we should have pulled this wall this way. It's a pain. When the steels went in, the midsection went in first, and the bricklayer, he'd basically lined it up so you could get the blocks in to the side there, but this side wasn't in terms of the blocks. So what ended up happening was I told them to centralise that, and this one isn't centralised. Obviously the bottom is fine in terms of where we wanted to get the block in, but the top of the ridge is off by 15mm, so it should have gone that way a little bit. So that's just made the carpenter's life a little bit harder when they come to do the roof. So it's not exactly square on, but it's not that bad. It's only 15mm off from one side to the other, so real good. How the bloody hell did I end up leaving my gloves outside? Lucky enough I've got another thermal pair. I'm just going to give you a bit of an update. It's a Sunday, the ground is frozen so it's not muddy. I'll show you what's happening. I recorded a little bit yesterday. Basically, you know, before these two, the gable frame went in and the central frame went in, then I went home for a couple of days and then this ridge went in. And then I realised when I come back that this was too low. So I sent them the drawings, and this gap just up here is meant to be 400mm from there up to the bottom of the ridge. and it was 800, well about 820, so that was wrong, but I didn't realise until then. I wanted to leave it if I could, but I just couldn't live with it, because what I'd done is I designed it so obviously these trusses are going to go back in. Now the original designs from the architect, that was meant to be a lot smaller. I made it slightly bigger, so when the metal bits go across this way, it sits right into the wall and it just feels right and looks right, and it's just one of them things that I like doing. And then as well, this is meant to go across top for the door frame. I didn't really want to have it at all, but apparently you need it. And the fabricator went to put it in, and then I said, you've put these plates the wrong way round, so they're meant to be the other way. So he's got to come back later, pick it up and take it back to the workshop. That's what happens when like there's a bit of a lack of communication. I said to him, I said, look, like he's totally sweet, like he's really, really good. And he said, yeah, okay, no problem, we'll sort it out. Like, he doesn't moan or anything. I said, look, if you need to ask anything, you're not sure or anything, I said, don't guess or assume or anything, or ask anyone else. Just ask me, because I know what's going on. That's the thing, you need someone that's basically going to be sorting everything out. What you got to remember is, like, I done the stills. I sent him the drawings and the measurements and everything like that, so I know where it's meant to be, what it's meant to be, and that's the reason why this got put in the wrong place, because he asked the bricklayer instead of asking me, and then he asked me about that one. It's just like, oh. I'll show you what's happened with the middle still. So the bricklayer, he'd said to put this still like obviously a certain amount this way so he could get his block working, and he's still like 10, 12 mil off or something just there. So if it would have just been squeezed that way a little bit more, it would have been right. Because look at the gap there. It should be like even, like the other side. So if it was 15 mil that way, 15 to 20, it would have been fine. I know there's some people that are watching this that are actually doing the barn conversion. Someone asked me about the drainage and what's happening with that. I'll quickly show you. Basically down here, it's been built up to such a level so we can slip the drains underneath, and then it just comes up. It's on a sweeping radius bend with like little legs underneath. There's one there for the bathroom, and then there's one here for the ensuite as well. And then this wall down here is thicker because it's going to be holding up this. So just standing in the kitchen, we're going to have a sink on the island, so there's meant to be one here, but Sean decided he wasn't going to put it in because it was meant to come out down there. Now that was based on what the architect said to do, and he said well, it's kind of pointless, because if it's just a sink that you're having on the island, you can just run do a 50 mil pipe through the floor insulation down here, and then just run it over to where there's going to be another one in there basically, and just boss into the side of the drain. It should be alright. I'll do a 50 mil. That run's only going to be like 3 meters, so it should be fine. You can get them valves that go on top and everything. Obviously, if it's an issue, because this is going to be left for me, I'll just have to break out a couple of these blocks and get underneath. Lucky enough there's a massive crawl space underneath really, so it'll be fine. I'm going to leave this one here. I thought it's probably quite long, but it's covered quite a lot, so hopefully it was alright for you. If you need to know anything, you got any questions, just ask me in the comments below. I'll try and explain anything I can. Obviously there's things like this, I'd be watching something like this and I'd want to know exactly how something's done, because I'm trying to work it out in my head. Just ask me. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button. please do subscribe, hit the bell notification. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.